What if I told you that the silence of space isn't silent at all, but a constant, desperate whisper that we've been expertly trained to ignore? What if the reason we haven't found alien life isn't because it doesn't exist, but because its existence is the most closely guarded secret in human history? Because the truth, they say, is far stranger and far more terrifying than any fiction. For decades, we've stared at the stars, listening. We've sent probes, built telescopes, and dedicated entire scientific fields to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. From Carl Sagan's wistful hopes to the serious calculations of the Drake equation, the math almost always points to one conclusion: we shouldn't be alone. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains billions of stars. Many, if not most, are likely to have planets. A significant fraction of those planets could be Earth-like, capable of sustaining life. Given the sheer age of the universe and the countless opportunities for life to emerge and evolve, civilizations should have had ample time to develop, expand, and perhaps even colonize entire star systems. So, where are they? This profound contradiction is known as the Fermi Paradox. If aliens are out there, where is everybody? This isn't just a philosophical question. It's a nagging, unsettling void in our understanding of reality. And for some, it's not a paradox at all, but a deliberate act of obfuscation, an attempt to keep us in the dark. The official narrative is simple. We haven't found them precisely because they haven't found us, or perhaps they simply don't exist in a form we recognize or live too far away. A comforting thought, perhaps. But what if that comforting thought is a carefully constructed lie? What if the answer to the Fermi paradox isn't an absence of life, but a pervasive, suffocating presence that we are prevented from perceiving? One of the more chilling explanations for the Fermi paradox is called the Great Filter. This theory suggests that at some point in the evolution of life, either in our past or in our future, there is a barrier so immense, so devastating, that very few, if any, species ever make it past it. It could be something behind us, the improbable jump from non-life to life, or from single-celled organisms to complex ones. Or more ominously, it could be ahead of us. An existential threat that wipes out nearly every advanced civilization before they can reach interstellar travel. A technological singularity gone wrong, a self-inflicted ecological collapse, or perhaps a cosmic predator that eliminates nascent civilizations before they become a threat. But what if the Great Filter isn't a natural phenomenon? What if it's an intelligent, deliberate force? This leads us to the zoo hypothesis. This idea posits that alien civilizations are aware of us, but choose not to interfere, observing us like animals in a cosmic zoo. They might have a prime directive, a universal law against intervention, or perhaps they find us too primitive, too chaotic, too dangerous to engage with. It's a patronizing thought, humbling in its implication of our perceived inferiority. But what if it's more sinister? What if they're not just observing, but managing? Controlling our access to information, guiding our development, all while maintaining the illusion of our cosmic solitude. This segues into the truly terrifying concept, the dark forest theory. Originating from Liu Cixin's science fiction novel, this theory suggests that the universe is a dark forest filled with lurking hunters. Every civilization is a hunter, wearing camouflage, trying to hide its presence. If a civilization reveals itself, it becomes a target, vulnerable to destruction by others who perceive it as a potential threat. In such a universe, silence is survival. To announce your presence is to invite annihilation. If this is true, then the very act of searching for alien life, of broadcasting our existence, is an act of suicidal recklessness. And if powerful entities are aware of this, what lengths would they go to prevent humanity from making such a fatal mistake? What truths would they bury to keep us safe, or perhaps to keep us ignorant and contained? Consider the historical record, not just the official one, but the whispers, the unofficial documents, the testimonies that have been systematically dismissed as delusion or hoax. Think of the Roswell incident in 1947. A rancher discovers strange debris, The military reports a flying disc, only to quickly retract it and label it a weather balloon. A full-scale cover-up, they call it. Why such an immediate, drastic reversal? The explanations provided have never truly satisfied the skeptics. Eyewitnesses describing unusual materials, bodies, and technology. For decades, the public was fed a narrative of mundane explanations, while former military personnel, years later, began to speak out, hinting at something far more extraordinary. They spoke of threats, intimidation, careers ruined. This wasn't just about protecting classified technology. It was about protecting a far more profound secret, one that challenged the very foundations of our understanding of who we are and what our place in the universe truly is. And Roswell is just the tip of the iceberg. Project Blue Book, a long-running US Air Force study of UFOs, officially concluded they posed no threat. Yet its own scientists often expressed frustration at unexplained cases and outright suppression of data. Whistleblowers have emerged, claiming to have seen classified documents, even alien technology. But their stories are invariably discredited, their careers destroyed, their reputations tarnished. Governments and intelligence agencies, the argument goes, possess overwhelming evidence of non-human intelligence, technology far beyond our grasp, and potentially even direct contact. They have meticulously crafted a veil of secrecy, using ridicule, disinformation, and even outright coercion to maintain the illusion of an empty cosmos. But why? Is it to prevent mass panic? To control advanced technology? Or, as the dark forest theory might suggest, to shield us from something far more dangerous than we can comprehend? To this day, we are left to wonder. Is the silence we hear from the stars a natural phenomenon, or a carefully enforced silence? Are we truly alone, adrift in a vast, uncaring void, or are we being watched, our every move catalogued by unseen eyes? The truth, they say, is out there. But what if it's not out there for us to find, but carefully hidden, just beyond our reach? A secret too profound, too dangerous, or too beautiful to ever be fully revealed. We may never know the full scope of what's being kept from us, but the questions linger, scratching at the edges of our perception, reminding us that perhaps the greatest mysteries aren't in the cosmos, but right here, on Earth. If you want to explore another chilling possibility, the next video dives into the true nature of the Bermuda Triangle and the forces that might be at play beneath the waves.